This is Jacob Newell of Old Oak School of Tao, and we are coming into the Yang Water Tiger Year of 2022. This talk is a Pith transmission of Wuweidao. So in Taoism, there are two core principles. Of course, in Taoism, everything always distills down to yin and yang, different expressions of yin and yang. So the two core principles I would like to discuss today are sometimes called gradual and sudden. So regarding gradual, Taoism as a qi cultivation practice really focuses on gradualism. Gradual, baby steps, no long strides. So Tao Te Ching chapter 64 says, a tree too large to embrace is born as a tiny shoot. A 9-story tower is an accumulation of soil. And 1,000-li journey, say 1,000-mile journey, very long journey of a long distance arises under the feet. So this is Lao Tzu's wisdom of gradualness, gradual progress. So Taoist practice really focuses on gradual cultivation. Nature constantly changing gradually. And we achieve goals through the gradual and regular application of effort. So if we're going to climb a mountain peak, we climb one step at a time. If we're going to eat a sandwich, we eat one bite at a time. If we're going to read a book, we read one word at a time. So baby steps. Chapter 24, Lao Tzu says, no long strides, no tippy toes and no long strides. So gradual cultivation is central to Taoist practice. If we're going to learn a scripture or learn any kind of method, how to maintain an altar, a Tai Chi form, chanting, some kind of astrology information or something, any kind of learning, growing is a path of gradualism. So this is key to understand and apply in our practice. The other principle that goes along with this gradual is what is sometimes called sudden. Sudden is really more of a Buddhist idea. The Taoist take on what I'm referring to as sudden is really more about constancy. Moment to moment, this continuous thread, unbroken, unbreakable, moment to moment, continuous thread of, call it Tao. So that mountain that we're climbing, that sandwich that we're eating, that book that we're reading, what we find at the end point of any kind of a journey is, well, what is that? Where are all the mountains we've ever climbed? Where are all the sandwiches we've ever eaten? Where are all the books we've ever read? And so Lao Tzu calls this Wu, which is, Wu basically means something returning to nothing, dissolvingness. So this is view teaching, this understanding that although we are cultivating gradually, that end point is not the abode of what we call Tao. What we call Tao is not only at that mountain peak. It is not at the end of the sandwich or at the end of the book. It's not at the end of 10,000 methods of practice, 10,000 repetitions of practice. It is not only an accumulation of a long process of effort. So there's this corny saying that we're all familiar with. It's the journey, not the destination. This is corny, but it's really true. In the transmission of Taoist practice, there will be learning. There will be small bites, small steps. We will be gradually growing our knowledge and understanding. We'll be gradually growing our skill and practice. Just like any kind of learning or qi cultivation, this kind of gradual development of gong fu, some kind of a special fruit arising through continuous practice is gong fu. But within this gradual process is what we call instant transmission or continuous presence. So within each step, within each bite, within each word, this before even reaching a destination, this is where we find Tao, not at the end. And through an engagement in another text we call the I Ching, we find that the basic idea of the I Ching is continuous change. So if we get to that end point, we're just at another position. We're just at another qi position, and there's still more change up ahead. So there is no end point. There is no end point. This is fundamental to Taoist view, no end point. So we're not practicing toward some end point. We're actually relaxing the idea that there is an end. So in our Wuweidao cultivation group, we follow the astrological cycles of the year, the moon, the day. So we want to align with cosmic cycles. So we we have this 1-year program. We start with the tiger, we end with the pig, and then we issue the teaching transmissions at the full moon, every moon. And then within the moon cycle, every day we're doing our own practice. So we're aligning with the cosmic cycles. But this practice is, we have to speak, we have to use both of these sides of the coin to speak. In one sense, this is gradual cultivation. And the program is a year for a reason. It takes time to settle into this view teaching and this method that we call Zewang. But it is also true that we are not building up toward anything. We are not practicing toward Tao. We're not practicing toward our nature. The whole idea of practicing toward Tao, it is a faulty view, as revealed in the Tao Te Ching. We do not practice toward Tao. We do not reach it through a process of the day, the moon, the year. The fruit of this transmission is not at the end. So we are not gradually cultivating toward Tao, but we are gradually cultivating. In the process of this gradual cultivation, we can maybe say we are slipping into where we are. And we are, in practicing with the day, it is in that practicing with the day, in that practicing with the moon, it is that practicing with the moon, in that practicing with the year, it is that practicing with the year. That itself is this cultivation that we call Tao, Tao Da, aligning with nature, not for any reason, not for any goal. If we have a reason, we have a goal, that is a conceptual practice. And many kinds of wonderful conceptual practices. We do not deny the value of conceptual practices. We do conceptual practices. But Zewang is not a conceptual practice. It is just settling into this, this perpetual presence that is here, not a fruit of cultivation, not a fruit of cultivation. So in a very important sense, the transmission of this 1-year program, which will involve information transfer over through cycles for a full year. The pith is already fully revealed. This is the seed, right? So I'm recording this in the rat moon. The rat is Z. Z means seed. So the seed is fully revealed. And so the process of sitting with this transmission for a full year cycle is nourishing the seed to fruition, which is a gradual idea, but continuously present. So maybe a little bit too much explanation, but entering into our practice. So we will introduce the method of Zhuang, and then you can forget about all this talk and just release into posture and forget.